Welcome to the You've Changed podcast. My name is Kate Barron, and this is the podcast where I talk to people in the entertainment industry, influencers, comedians, actors, everyone about moments in their life that have changed them. And today I'm talking to the wonderful and talented writer, comedian, influencer, everything, Michael Moses. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So just to clarify for everyone, you are comedian first, so straight up stand up first.
Yeah,
but you're also like an actor, a writer, and you're a fucking TikToker now.
I'm an influencer. I'm a micro influencer.
No, I don't think you're micro. You're like a legit influencer because you have 100,000 followers on like that's like an influencer.
Oh,
I'm a micro influencer because I have no one but my mother following me.
And you got the blue check, though.
I do have the blue check. I don't know. I mean, I just suck somebody's dick for that, but it's like
that puts you like, you know, I got 100K but no blue check.
No,
so
but you got you'll get your. I mean, now you got to buy them. I think I slid in right under the line for that shit.
You know what? I'm too young to even get my blue check.
I'm too much of an old fuck.
No, my page is too young. My page, you have to be over 180
I thought you
days.
meant I'm too old, and I was like, that is true, but hurtful, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
No, but so your thing, I just heard about yesterday, like your TikTok, but I love this because it's like the coolest fucking thing, and it's so you. Just explain what your TikTok and the influencer bit of you is all about, because you're a comedian first, but this is something you've been doing.
This is something I'm doing, and hopefully
to
drive over to the stand up. And it's funny to try to explain. I'm just going into restaurants around the world and trying to become a regular. And what a regular is like somebody who's been there a lot, that you walk in and they know your order.
Yeah, before you even pay, it's already being done.
Yeah, they'll hand it to you. They know what you're gonna get already. They know your name, and I'm trying to do that in restaurants around the world in under 7 days.
So what's been the hardest one to do that hasn't taken you on, like that hasn't just been like they just don't give a shit about you?
In and Out in LA was hard because it took the most days.
But that's fast food, so I feel like it's a bit different. Like, don't you think it's different with like a big chain versus a small place?
The small places, I get them 3 times with somebody.
Yeah.
They know. Like,
know
first day, I'm boom, and I'm getting their name.
But then do they think you died? Because you do it every day at the exact same time, and then you just then you jump to a new city. So are they like, all right, is he okay?
Oh, I leave them. Yeah, it breaks their hearts.
Because you've heard that story about the guy who I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently there was like a guy who like ordered pizza from Domino's every single day.
Yeah.
He'd order like a Domino's pizza. He lived on Domino's pizza. And then one day the order just never came in. And the next day the order never came in. And they're like, no, there's something wrong with him. And he was like, he had like fallen and like broken his hip or something in his apartment. And the Domino's people, they went to go like rescue him because they knew this wasn't in his character. So if you go and you're trying to become a regular every single day and then all of a sudden you just ghost them, are they like, what do we do?
I know.
We lost a regular. Do you tell them at the end?
I tell them at the end.
You do? Okay.
I do. Because people comment that all the time. Like, you're just going to leave them? Like, you spend all week just like asking this person's name, what they do outside of work, you know, getting to know them, you know, things they do. And then they say,
that would
and then
mess
the one
you
day,
up.
and then eventually the one day they go, hey, Michael, you want the usual? I'm like, yeah. And then I just, I'm gone.
Oh my God.
Gone.
Is this what you do when you're dating people too? The moment a woman gets to know you, and she's like, "Hey, Michael, I love you," you're like, "And that's me out. That's me out. I'm done.
I want you. I'm committed to you." And I'm like, "That's awesome. I'm here for it on this day." Next day,
you're the fake nice guy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, you're actually the fucking nicest dude.
I let them know, except some I haven't let know. Some I hope.
But like In and Out, if you were like, "Hey,"
people have gone and taught. So I hope I have enough people that go, "Oh, he's."
Yeah.
He's doing it. Here's your ex.
Yeah.
He's on, but
he's moved on.
Yeah, but he's moved on again. It's not like It's not, you weren't special, but you were special, but you weren't.
So you're trying to become a regular. I had a friend who, when he moved to New York, he said his goal was just to have a regular joint. Like, he just wanted to have one place that they would know him, and like Saturday mornings he could go to, and they'd be like, "Hey man, what's up? We're already pouring your coffee. Your paper's on your table."
Yeah.
And he just thought that was like the epitome of, like, especially in a city like London, New York, these big cities, right, where there's just like so many people, and you're just like faceless.
Oh, the normals, and it gives you routine, and you're faceless, and you become. So there's people like that, me and that guy, and then there's people that go, "Oh, I go into a place all the time, and as soon as they recognize me, I never go back. that's embarrassing. Like the fact that they know I'm coming here.
I don't think it's embarrassing at all.
For some people, it's like embarrassing. Like maybe maybe where they're going is embarrassing.
I guess
like
if
maybe
they
they're hitting up a McDonald's after a workout, like they're in their workout gear and they're going into the same McDonald's to get the chicken wrap, and they're like, "Oh, you want the usual?" Like, whoa, no, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
You don't want to be a regular at McDonald's.
I don't want to be the regular at the place where they're like, no,
it's like a shameful regular bed.
Like my order's like huge. It's, but it's 4-3, but it's actually just for
yeah. But I worked at Starbucks all through university, and it was a 24-hour drive through Starbucks, and I often worked like the 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. shift. It was so brutal, and then I go to class afterwards, and I'd fall asleep in class, which is probably explains why I'm a fucking comedian now. I don't have a proper job, but like at the Starbucks, you'd get to know people. We'd have our regulars, they'd come in, and we'd get the morning commuters in as well. So all the cars in the morning, or the people in the morning who were like going to work, they'd have the regular things, they'd have the regular cups. As soon as you saw someone's cup on the counter, you'd be like, I know what this is. It's like an Americano with cream, a shot of caramel, whatever. And you'd be like, hey Bob, hey dude, whatever. And I actually loved having the regulars. As somebody who worked in customer service, I loved a regular. And I've worked in retail before, any sort of customer service job, having regulars, because the regulars treat you well, they tip you well. And at the coffee shop by my parents' house where my sister and her husband and my parents live, we go there on the weekends whenever I'm out there. Well, I go there a lot. And then on the weekends we go and play with my niece and we'll go hang out, and they just like know her. She's got all her little toys in the corner. Everyone, but the regulars tip like crazy.
They feel like they're supporting
the small business, and I'm so about that. I'm so about like supporting, especially small business, obviously, and like local. But has there ever been one that you've gone to and you built the relationship, they got to know who you are, you left, and then you came back and they were like, Michael, you're back, where have you been?
I've been doing that for some of them, like if I'm in that city long enough. So like New York, or I was there for a month. LA, I was there for a month. Some places like here, I'm only here for 7 days, so I gotta make the relationship, and I'm gone. I'm in Barcelona now, my shirt's off while I'm ordering. So I do sometimes. Do
you already have your places picked out for Barcelona? Where you're gonna do it?
I have no idea.
You don't know.
I have to reach out to people and go, where should I go? Because I'm like, what's busy but also small, you want to support. I did go to a really
cool, small, like very trendy sandwich shop in Barcelona that was like hipstery, but like, and it was like off Los Rambla, like, I'm going to think about it for you.
If you get it.
Because I feel like that would be like the kind of joint you're looking for.
Yeah, and then I'm going to try to learn Spanish to order in Spanish.
Oh my God. Hola.
Hola.
Do you know any Spanish right now?
I've been on Duolingo Spanish for a while.
They need to sponsor you.
That's thank you.
Duolingo the Owl, sponsor this dude, because you're making connections in different languages around the world.
Yes. I did German, Montreal, tried some French. English.
So why this? Why did you want to do that?
It was like that, like what the story you were talking about of that guy who was the regular that going in. I think, that's the, like, that feels so nice. In a place. I remember there was an episode of the show like in the 90s or early 2000s called Ted. And he goes to a bar. And I think like maybe 3 seasons got canceled. Okay. But he goes to this bar. He sits down, he's a regular at the bar.
You sure not thinking Cheers?
No, no.
Oh my God, you should have like the where everybody knows your name. Oh. You should have that as like that's like what you're trying to do.
That's exactly. Cheers. All right, I gotta go look up, see if that's free.
Yeah.
But he goes to the bar, he sits down, and then this other guy walks in. He's never seen before, Silver Fox, sits down. Bartender goes to that guy and goes, the usual? And the guy goes, yeah, and boom. And then she walks over to Ted. He says her name, like, hi, Teresa.
Yeah.
And he goes, I'll get the usual as well. And she goes, what is that? And he goes, and it was just like, I don't know what it was, a scene that just stuck in my head of this guy wanting, to be. But he's like, I come here all the time. I know you. I know your name. And who's this guy? Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that kind of sparked it. And then I was like, all right, I'm in New York. People don't, and it's one of those cities like London where everybody's just moving past and don't recognize them. Like, well,
so I don't even look up when I'm in. I'm just like, I'm straightforward. Or if I'm looking, I also don't wear my glasses when I'm out. So people will literally be like, hey, and I'm like going past them, and they're like, you fucking blanked me today on the tube, and I was like, man, I didn't even see you. I was like, I was doing my shit. I was on my phone. I was just so not.
Or how many times do you order something and you're not even looking at them? Here's the thing, boom. And so I was like, all right, in New York, what if I could get somebody to And then people were like, it's never gonna happen. It's New York. They see millions of people in a day. And it's funny because it's pre-recorded.
Right.
So they don't ruin it. So people are like commenting, you're never gonna get it. I'm like, it's done.
It's
I
done.
already got him on day 7.
So you know what's gonna. So you don't release the city until you've done the whole thing. But do you release them if it didn't happen and you're like, oh, it didn't fucking happen in this city? Or are you like, no, I don't release them?
I wait till the end to release because now.
What if it doesn't work? Don't you want people to see? Like sometimes it doesn't always work.
I still want people to treat like
what?
Like,
oh my god!
I have a comment.
You can't lie to the people.
I know. I'm legit.
You dirtbag.
I'm legit in the comments.
Liar.
Like, we'll find out tomorrow. I'll see tomorrow. They're like,
but
and they're in the comments like, you should try this, and I'm like, okay, I'll try it. But even though it's done, like somebody commented, like I'm doing this one Montreal. I'm releasing it.
Yeah,
clearly not in Montreal.
Did you do Boustans? Where'd you go in Montreal?
I should have. I did.
Do you know Boustans?
Yeah, I know of Boustans.
Oh my god, it's so good
because it's like what Lebanese food?
It's Lebanese food, but it's like the epitome of like amazing drunk Lebanese food, and then they put these like hash browns in it with this like sweet sauce. Oh my god, it's so incredible. And Amr Singh was the one who told me about it when I was in Montreal.
Yes.
And we went there, and then I just had to go back every single night. And I was like, this is the best shit ever.
That's where I'm in a weird spot because I'm traveling the world. So it's like, okay, in Montreal, should I do Lebanese, or what if maybe I'll just go to Lebanon?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like,
okay, yeah.
So sometimes
Montreal, you got to do bagels. I mean, you're doing bagels here, but Montreal bagels is legit.
Yeah, like bagels, I did poutine, right?
Yeah,
so
okay.
Something like Montreal, so I'm like, I could do it, but it was weird. Like,
I went to. Should I go for a Lebanese food, or should I just go to Lebanon?
But
okay,
I learned
fuck you.
I figured that because I went to Berlin and I was like, what should I get? You know, to these 100,000 people, like
currywurst.
Yeah, and some people, but everybody came back with doner. They're like,
oh
yeah,
everybody.
So I'm like, Turkey, and then people were like, this guy goes all the way to Berlin to eat Turkish food.
I know, I would think like curry, but also you have to eat it every day, which is a lot.
It was a lot of doner bucks.
Like that's a lot of heavy shit to eat.
So I was like, all right, you know what? When I travel, I'm gonna try to figure out something that's for that place.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
If I do hit up, I'm like, I could hit Boustans or Lebanese food because it is great there, but I also could hit up Lebanon.
But that's also like a very unique Montreal place.
Yes, yeah.
But that is cool. But don't you? Oh my god,
I'll save some for when I go back.
Yeah,
so I'll do, and then even Boustans might be tougher. So maybe I'll spend 2 weeks there.
Right,
and then we get to see. Not trying to do it under 7 if it happens or not, to see like actually how long it takes.
Yeah,
that like some of them is like, can you do it under 7 days?
Yeah,
and some like, let's see how long it.
What's your thing? Are you? You strike me as someone who wants to talk to the person on the plane beside you. Are you? Do you have an? Oh, okay.
I don't know. Autism. To want to do the same thing every day.
Like, go to the same thing.
Eat the same thing. If I was like, if I could be a cartoon character, wear the same clothes, I'd be fine with that.
Just the same thing every day.
You open my closet and it's Bart
But
Simpson.
not even though, because you're traveling
around
the world and you're trying all different things, so you're not really like that. And you love talking to people. But what is the thing about wanting to connect with people and talk with them? And it's not about the food. It's about the connections you're making.
Yeah. It's not about the food already. Yeah, it's about the people there.
Do you talk to people who sit next to you on a plane?
I don't, but unless
they're my worst fucking people. I'm like headphones and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm very busy, and then I'm just like playing Candy Crush.
But if they open it up, it's over.
That's why I can't open it. I go like, what? Yeah, and then I put it right back in. I don't.
On the plane, I let people open it up, and then I'm in.
But then you'll be in. Like I could see you talking to a stranger for 8 hours on a plane straight.
On the way to like.
Oh my
Berlin.
God, that's my worst fucking nightmare.
And it was just so happened. So I'm like sitting on this aisle row.
Yeah.
And there's this couple. They're in the middle, and the girl looks over at me. And she goes, can you switch? Because that's my, husband. And it's a middle seat I'm switching for.
Fuck that.
That's what I should have.
No way. I hate people like that.
Really? Oh, I was like.
Or who have the balls to sit. If you have like a window seat reserved and they're sitting and they're like, oh, well, can you just. Nah, bitch. No, we all had the opportunity to check in. Fuck off.
I was on a plane once and there was like a girl asked like this guy.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, can you switch? Because that's my, that's my boyfriend right there. And he goes, nah, this is my family to the right.
Yeah.
And then the whole plane ride was the mom dealing with the 2 kids.
Yeah.
While this guy watched Black Adam. Like he didn't even help. The kids are going crazy, jumping.
Did you hear about that?
And the husband's like, no, I gotta sit here because this is my family. And then he didn't do anything for his family the whole time. And it wasn't even Black Adam. Like it was a worse Marvel movie.
Did you hear about the James Corden story on a plane?
No. Oh, there's a lot.
There's a lot about James Corden, but basically there was this one where he was on a plane. He's in business. Yeah. They said there was a woman also in business flying with her 2 kids, and they were like screaming. And he was very cool about it. Yeah. He didn't say anything. Yeah. He just kind of like let them do their thing or whatever. And then the woman was like, you know what? It was actually, she hears like he's a dickhead, all this stuff. And the woman was dealing with these like shitty kids the whole time. And then when they got off the plane, she realized that was his wife and kids. He had ignored them the whole fucking flight. And she's like, oh, I guess he's not a dickhead because he didn't say anything. But they were his fucking kids.
Yeah, you don't recognize your own kids.
No, he does. Yeah, he's a fucking dickhead. He's a loser.
Yeah.
The thing is, I like to say I'm all tough, and normally I won't switch seats, but I will on the occasion where it was like a parent with kids. Right. That's different. Yeah. And then the one time that it happened to me, I was on a flight from, it was 242 was the configuration. Yeah. There was a girl in like the window seat. I think I had the aisle. Yeah. And then there was however, there was an old man and a wife. And however it was like I was sitting with the old man and I was at the window seat. And she was at a window seat, and the old lady was on the aisle. So the 2 old couple who were together, but he was like, they would look like they were should be in coffins, not in airplane seats. Like they looked like fucking old as fuck.
To death. Yeah.
They were flying to die.
They're like, oh, we're about to, let's just go on a plane and
me and this other young girl each had the window seats. And then the woman was like, would you mind switching so my husband could sit with me? And she's like, no, I have the window seat. And I was like, girl, this is their last flight they're ever going to be on. So I was like, you can take my window seat. So I switched also. Yeah. I mean, it was sort of selfish because he was like, and I was like, I don't want him to die on me. Yeah. So, but I switched and I took the aisle because I'm like, an aisle and window, there was no middle seat. Yeah. And I'm like, also, they're fucking a million years old. You have to be, but also, generally.
What are you seeing? You're seeing the takeout, you see it.
Like, I get you want to cozy up. And then you're above the clouds.
It's done.
But then
also
you don't have to
look out the window. For most of the flight, you don't have to look out the window.
No. And she was just like a little snatch. And I was like, no, I don't, that kind of thing I will switch. Yeah. But what I don't like is when couples go, oh, we'll book the window and the aisle. I hope no one sits in the middle. And then when you sit in the window or in the middle, or someone gets booked, they're like, oh, can we, no, I'm in the middle of your relationship now. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about why you 2 have been together for 5 years and he hasn't manned up to propose to you. Let's talk about that.
Exactly.
I want to start shit.
You booked a flight and said, we're going to do aisle and window and nobody will sit and thought nobody would sit in the middle.
How good would that be actually to fucking cause such a fight with a couple and be like, doesn't she always do this? What a nag. And is he always so inconsiderate? And then they're just like,
oh, this is international. We got time. Right. We got time to solve this. Yeah. Get up, break it up.
But you just love people.
Yeah. Well, just being interested in people and connected. I like turning a stranger into a friend. Like, isn't it so just so...
Oh my God, that's so corny. I mean, it's cute. No.
But
do you have a sign in your house that says strangers are just friends that haven't met yet? My mom has... Is it next to your live, laugh, love sign? No. Learn how to dance in the rain.
Stupid.
Are you actually an old white woman? Because that's what you sound like.
All right, no.
Are you your mother?
I probably am. I am my mother's son.
Facts.
No, that was stupid. What do I?
No, it's not. It is cute. It is endearing. You're a nice.
It's just
Canadian
interesting how
boy.
I don't know this person at all.
Yeah.
I look at my last relationships or something like that. I'm like, wow, we hate each other, but before we didn't even know each other existed for most of our lives, and now I hate that person, or I love that, or I love that person, or whatever. And it's like 3 years ago, no idea who you were.
I heard this thing about how
you mean so much in my life. I'm like, that's pretty crazy.
It is crazy. And you never know what role you are in someone's life. You might be the fucking villain in somebody else's story. You might be the one that got away. You might be the one that they think about.
Oh, yeah.
And it's weird to think like that. How what if somebody saw you across the room and was like, that Michael Moses is the love of my life. And then they never act on it for the rest of their life. They think about you.
Yeah. Oh, they plan that life together.
You just don't know. This is me secretly confessing my love for you.
I like how they plan their life with you, but you're a totally different job. They have no idea.
Exactly.
Some comic working on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, he's probably this, and we would build a beautiful life.
It is
have this
interesting.
House, and, I can't afford any of that.
What was that? I heard this. Well, it was a thing on TikTok. There was strangers to friends to lovers to back to strangers.
Right. Yeah.
And that how it goes through and how it happens is actually so heartbreaking.
But there's a lot of people out there like, I hate people. But if you have a good conversation with somebody, that the energy you get from that,
totally.
And it's like,
I just hate stupid people.
Yeah. And stop pretending we don't need people. Like you go out,
of course, and
you look at a bar and it's empty, you're like, I'm not Because why? The people.
Yeah,
and then you look at a bar that's packed and you're like, oh, I hate these people. But you go to that bar.
Yeah.
You go
my God.
you go to watch the drunk guy and the people you hate and the girl that's doing too much. And you want to be around people. So don't pretend it doesn't give you energy. You're like, I hate the people I'm with. That's who you hate.
Or it's stupid people or ignorant people or like the people like that. Like, there's people who like, you can actually talk to. That's a very good point, actually. The empty bar. That's a good analogy.
You're not going to that one. You're like, and you're with people. You're like, well, should we go there?
Yeah.
But there's no other. I'd have to still talk to you.
Yeah, that's good.
I want to go meet. Yeah, you always want to go meet up. And a lot of people, the people willing to talk are cool. And you can tell right away. Of
course.
Like, if you start and you're like, okay, never mind. I should have got.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I realized because there are those like people that are just unhinged.
Yeah.
And if you start talking and they go in, you can just walk away.
Yeah.
Like
you know what was?
Because they
my God.
They talk. They don't ask you a question. They go. They don't. You can just go, I'll be right back. And just never be right back. I do that a lot. I do that. I'm like, I gotta go to the washroom.
You're like secretly a mean girl.
Oh yeah, like
I love it. You're like a nice guy, but secretly a mean girl.
Yeah, I'll talk. But you gotta have a little bit because you can't be too nice. You know?
Because
then you get stopped by the people on the street trying to sell you the stuff.
Well, exactly. And I was at church one Sunday morning. I don't know how I fucking got there. It's a friend of mine, her daughter's christening. Yeah. We ended up at the church. I'm trying to find my way around this thing. I'm in a fucking cemetery. I'm like, where the fuck? And this is why I don't go to church. Yeah. That and many other reasons. But like, so I'm there. I'm trying to find it or whatever. And then some guy comes up to me, asks, or no, some guy was there. So I go ask him, do you know where the front of the church is? So he starts signing to me. So I'm like, okay, this guy's deaf, but he can read lips. Yeah. He tells me where the church is and it's around. And so I just go like, thank you. And then he's like, you know sign. So I don't. I know like 2 things in sign. But then he starts talking to me and he's like, I want to. And then he starts going, I want to get plastic surgery, but the doctor says I'm too fat. And he's like grabbing his tits. And he's like, he thinks I'm too fat. And he's grabbing it. And I was like, what? Good luck with the plastic surgery. He's going up and he's like unhinged, right?
That's a blabbermouth sign language.
Oh my God. I actually heard of people saying on there, because they're so sick of talking to Uber drivers, that they will go, you can put that you're hard of hearing or don't want conversation in the Uber, and then you get silence. And I was like...
but also it's like pressure. Like, let's say the Uber driver doesn't want to talk to you, right?
Yeah.
And then you put... A little conversation would be nice, and now the Uber driver's like, so where are you headed? And it's like, I don't want to.
And I don't want to tell them what I do. I just go, I work in like an office or something. I don't want to tell them I'm a comedian because they're like, tell me a joke. Or
if you don't want to talk to people, jump in a cab, because that cab driver will be in an earpiece talking to whoever he's talking to.
The Uber drivers are talking in the fucking earpieces too.
Oh yeah, over here, your Uber driver is talking in an earpiece, has another phone. He has a phone with GPS, but he's texting and driving. He's delivering
Uber Eats as he's dropping you.
He's texting and driving. Yeah. Over here, it's wild.
100%. So this whole podcast is about, sorry, my watch is going up. Yeah. This whole podcast is it's about change.
Yes.
It's about things that we've changed in our lives. It doesn't need to be monumental. Yeah. It just needs to be something that sort of changed your path in your life.
Yeah.
So give me something that changed the path in your life.
Okay. Because you asked me this question, so I thought about it. So I think this was like this was like September 2019, 2020. It might COVID or something, but I'm like traveling across Canada. I'm doing some shows, and I end up in Kelowna. I do a show, and it's paid, and that's nice. And then I'm off to Vancouver for a week, but I'm not getting paid to do these shows.
Yeah,
and then
sounds like Canada.
Yeah, I'm not getting paid to do. I'm doing like 7 shows, but none of them are like paid. And then I'm gonna head to the island.
Yeah,
and I'm going to I'm gonna go up the island. I'm gonna go whale watching.
Yeah.
Orcas,
Yeah.
Love Free Willy as a kid. I'm like, I gotta see these things.
Yeah.
And then there's a friend I know, her name's Sarah. She just quit her job. And she doesn't, so she goes, I'm gonna meet you out in Vancouver. And she's like, let's go camping.
That's cool. Do you like camping?
If you gotta bring everything, you need the right stuff. I didn't have the.
Yeah, if you can bring a hotel, I'll go camping with you.
I wore Sarah's clothes. She gave me her jacket. She gave me all that. Like, I didn't bring enough. Like, you need the boots. You need.
Yeah, man.
She had it all.
Like, if you're camping in Canada in proper fucking wilderness, then not like Coachella camping or some shit.
Yeah, take me to that Bass Pro Shop, and just. Low, and then I'll go camping, and I'll pick off everything.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast is buying me everything. If he says touch everything in here and I buy it, then I'll go camping. But yeah, so so she actually like had the plan, like we'll camp and I'll come to the whale watching with you. But the whole time I'm like, man, like the money, like I'm going in debt. My credit card is like put on these flights and now there's gas and the food every day you're eating out and all this stuff on, and so I can't really, I'm enjoying it but not enjoying it. And then I see an orca and an orca like comes close and flies under, and then in that moment you become present and you're like, oh, that's crazy, and then it goes back to, okay, this is over. Stressing.
You go from your free willy moment to fuck, I can't buy food.
I can't afford any of this, like, and then I'm gonna have to go back and I'm like, I might have to, maybe I'll get like a brunch serving job or something, or just something during the day, right? I'm thinking of a job. So we're driving through the mountains and it's like that, one of those silent, we're in the mountains, you're driving, Sarah's driving, and she just hits me with what are you thinking about, right? And I just tell her, I'm the stress of money, and all these things. And she kind of was going through the same, because she just quit a job and she doesn't know what to do next. And then she hit me with, because I was stressing about it hard, she could tell, and she hit me with a quote from a book, like How to Make Money Like a Badass. I forget the book, but she just says, don't stress about like money. Like if you think about your life, money has always come, and it's always gone, and it's always come, and it's always gone. And just tell yourself you attract money. And
are you into manifestation
now? Because so I do that. So and whatever the way she said it, or just to saying that, like, okay, I attract money, it'll come, it's always come and gone. That kind of was like, oh yeah, it has. And I just like, okay, and I just breathed and like it was like let go for that moment. And then we like checked into an Airbnb at night, and I got a message from Zoe, the booker for Just for Laughs, right? That night, the same night that I'm like not feeling it, and she offers me 2 paid TV gigs, and 1 radio TV paid gigs, and I was like, whoa! Like I was just the moment where like she said, hey, don't worry about it, just breathe. And then the moment I stopped worrying about money and realizing it comes and goes, I get the call, and these big paychecks are gonna come in and cover all the debt. So that was like a moment where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna stress about this. And I'm just gonna go and invest in myself, like all these things. So since that moment, I've really just been putting shit on the credit card, just traveling the world. I end up going to New York, create this thing. Now I got 200K followers TikTok, almost 100K Instagram. That thing's popping off. I'm traveling. I came here. Had this 3 days in London has been amazing, and I wouldn't have done that before if I was like, or even if I would have had to gotten a day job or something like that. But just a moment like, okay, hey, money's gonna come, it's gonna go. Let's just enjoy life and work on and keep working hard on everything you're doing, and it'll come back. And every time it's go into debt, and then something comes up, and then it pays it off, and then something comes up. So and then I'm like, so people like, you're here, you're there. I'm like, how you doing it? How you, like, everybody's like commenting, how you paying for all this food? I'm like, I'm not, but I'm like, but 100K, that something's gonna come from something. Like I'm like, I believe that it's gonna come back. I'll spend all this money.
I mean, that is the right attitude.
And in that moment, I was just like, and because I think one of the things is like when you're trying to follow something, that lockdown of the day job, or the job that you don't want, or the thing just to get by or to make the money. And I just said, nah, it'll come. And in that moment, like changed. Like I was, all right, I'll do that. And then I was like, I did that. Like, screw it. I got to see the whale. Like, and like, what if I would have been reserved and went, nah, let me just do the shows. And then she kind of was like, let's do this. And I was like, okay. But then boom, I got to see an orca like up close. Like we shouldn't have been that close. They had to, they turn off the engines. They say don't go. And it just turned towards us. Like a magical moment. And then in the mountains, and she just said, don't stress. And then all of a sudden, and then Sarah got like a job from like Silicon Valley.
Shit. I was going to ask how Sarah's doing.
Yeah, so she like, all of a sudden like stressed, and like her old job like offered her back, and she's like, oh, and then all of a sudden now she's making more money than she ever has before.
Wow, yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, that was that. Yeah, I think that changed. I'm like, just go for it.
And I think it's like believing in yourself too, and just like. I think the problem with the day job, and like I only left my day job 6 months ago, and it does like shackle you down, and there's a safety in having it. And I think you become less of a risk taker.
Yeah.
Because you're just go, well, this money's coming in, and if I jeopardize this, and like Bobby Mayer, who's a great Canadian comic who lives over here, he was just telling me, he's like, you have to eventually just fucking go for it. Like, you're employable.
Yeah.
You need a job. If you need to do it, you can go back and get a fucking job.
Yes.
But like, you got to take these risks. And there's a lot of opportunities that I've gotten because I wouldn't have had them before in the day job, like doing voiceover work in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
You can't fucking do it if you have a day job. But my agent knows I don't have it now. So I can jump down to Soho and do voiceover work, make really good money.
Yes.
And do something that's very fucking cool. But so it's believing in yourself and like taking those chances and stuff too. But I love that.
And the fact, you're just, I'm going to take the chance. I do believe in myself.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And then, you free up your day to like solve the problem. You're like, all right, how am I going to do something? And then your brain will just go. So a little bit manifestation and a little bit of just, and then you believe in yourself. And also you're like, oh no, I've created something here. Or just like knowing like, I'm a good comic. Like,
and you got to back yourself. You are a fucking good comic.
And like even for yourself, you've
been working at this. You've been a comic for 10 years. Yeah. You've been hustling. You've been working hard. It's not like you started comedy and 6 months later you're going, fuck this, I can quit and I can go. Like you put in the work first. Yeah. You got to put in hard work. I did 7 years before I quit my day job. 7 years of doing comedy to hone what I can do and move to a country where I knew it was viable. Set up relationships, built relationships with clubs, did all this stuff, had like my Edinburgh show ready. But you can't just do it. Yeah. But you also got to back yourself. And there comes a point where you just have to be one of those people that takes the leap or doesn't.
Right.
And I love that you did, because look at all this cool shit that's happening. And even this thing about like how much you like connecting with people and doing this, and why I think you're finding all this success online with the becoming a regular. What's it called again? What's your account called?
Every day, same time.
Every day, same time. And the reason I think you're finding success on that account is because you are really genuine. You want to build connections, but you also like, you do have like this sort of very quiet confidence. And I think people are attracted to that.
Yeah.
And then that's just going to open up more opportunities. Like we talked about Keith Lee yesterday, who's so lovely and just seems fucking genuine. And people want good things to happen for genuine people. And if you continue to be like nice and genuine and kind, then good shit will come your way.
Yeah, absolutely. You put out that energy into the world to happen. And and at one point, like, I know what it's like to like walk by and not have that conversation. Yeah. I know what it's like to put back in my earbud. I know what it's like to be broke and like, or just, and not go for it and try to find the day job to, survive. I know what all of that is like. But I don't know what it's like to actually stop and have that conversation with that person. I, don't know what it's like to, so now I'm figuring it out. On that side, it's like, there's so much more.
The fact that you were talking to me yesterday about how like somebody in London would smile and you would stop and like have a conversation with them. And I was like, in London, that's wild. That's like, if someone smiles at me, I'm like, he's got a knife. I gotta go. He's gonna fucking stab me. No one looks at me that happy unless they're like, I'm gonna get her.
I know. And then like one moment, like, and you look like a non-threatening, guy. So
no, but it's not even like, it's just like, I think there's like an energy with how you carry yourself.
Yeah. And I think if you
people feel
carry yourself with that energy that like, hey, I'm open to, anything or me, and the people that are also kind of maybe in that mindset, they'll look at you and you'll go, okay, let me stop and have it. Yeah, that was a while. But he ended up being a cool, cool person, a cinematographer. Yeah.
I think that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
I thought we were having a conversation, kind of like I was sitting there having the beer with him. Yeah. Having this conversation, and we were talking, and there was a guy across the street, and he kept on looking. I thought he was like listening. And maybe in his mind, he's like, okay, I'm going to go over there too. He starts walking across the street, and I like go to like, hey man, what's up? And he goes, you're just in front of the, I want to put out my smoke. Like he was just a class, and he went back to his side. And
you go in to kiss him on the cheek, and he's like, no, bro, I'm just trying to ash my cigarette.
He's like, reached over my shoulder, just ashed his cigarette, headed back across the street by himself, like,
oh my God.
London Peacoat. I was like, okay.
Are you the fucking guy that like sees someone waving, and you're like, hi? And they're like, no, bro, I'm waving at the person behind you.
I always, I look, I'm like, is that for me? Yeah.
Is that for me, stranger? Oh my God.
But yeah. So it's been, I think you'll meet people, you'll meet a lot of cool people. And and also like, when you're going through something like this, it's good to tell people what you're doing. Yeah. And not be like too shy about it. And then, cause then you never know who you might meet that go, oh, you know what? I actually know this person, or
totally.
I'm actually like, I have this space
The world is
or
small,
have this
man.
thing. Like I have, if you want to do something, let's do it. And you're like, oh wow, how did that? Even if you listen to the stories that people have of how these things were created, it's like I was doing this, and then it was just
You're like
my
the
brother
least narcissistic comedian I've ever met in my life. Because usually we're just like me.
Yeah.
And you're just like, no, I want to hear about people. But sometimes people start talking and I'm like,
oh yeah.
kill me. Can't handle this story. They're like, this is a funny one. I'm like, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't know who told you this was a funny
so
story.
It's so funny. Yeah.
They tell you all the
not
worst
funny,
shit.
haha, just funny.
Yeah, not funny, haha. Just, kind of something to talk about.
Yeah. Here's a story I have.
I love that. So I guess, the thing that changed, so do you think it was like you took the chance?
Yeah.
There's so many things, and I love this because it is sort of like sliding doors moments where you had to take the chance to go and travel, and then your friend quit her job.
Yeah.
And she joined you, Sarah joined you.
Yeah.
And then on that trip, you had all these things, but then also it was like that being together and having her say that really impacted what you went through. But that trip just like changed it all for you.
Yeah, I think I was like, like, all right, let me dig out an old resume and stuff like that and like put together and like, where could I work to go? And okay, nope. I'm just, where's the next stop or what's the next? Yeah, let me travel. Let me do something. Let me get somewhere where I want to be. So it's like, all right, I went to Romania. I'm like, I'm going to.
I love that.
I'm like, Dracula's Castle. It's a real place. Booked a ticket.
That's sick.
See. Let's go see it. And I got there. and I was like, okay, never mind. But
I feel like you and my mother would get along very well.
Yeah,
like she's not super adventurous, but she does love to talk to strangers.
Yeah.
She'd be the one in the cab, like, where are you from? Like to the driver. And we're like, oh my god, stop.
Yeah.
But you and her would be able to like gab along and gab away.
Hopefully, I want to be able to do it, but also understand if people are not into like there is a fine line of somebody.
You have enough social awareness.
Yeah, I want, because there are people that will talk and they have no idea that person wants to go or doesn't want to talk or but then I just I hopefully that I keep that social awareness and I'm not just like get to a point where I'm just like hi Mr. Rogers.
I'm the one who's like, oh, crazy, wow, crazy.
And I'm like, I would pick up on that and go, okay,
crazy.
I get it.
And then when I do, I'm like, okay, gotta.
I think it's good to be a comic too, because I understand that like people are like sarcasm tones. I'm like, okay, I get it. I get the joke the sarcastic joke you're coming at me with. Yeah. Like I went to like in the trial, I was like, how do you say this in French, right? And I was like, isn't it this, and she goes, nah, she goes, and then she said it, and she goes, okay, now you say it. And I was like, I can't. You can't? Okay, well, try. And she gave me that kind of like attitude, and I just laughed. And
a French person with a bad attitude? What?
I was like, okay, I get it. You know what? You're here to serve poutine. You're not here to. You're not here to.
Especially French Canadians.
Teach me. Yeah, you're not here to teach me French. I get it, but I like I can laugh that off and then just back off.
Oh, that's good. So tell me, what is something in your life that you hope never changes?
Oh man, that's so.
Because you're obviously someone who you travel all over the world, you're meeting all these people, you are in a constant sort of like, you are changing loads of shit.
Yeah.
But what's something you just never want to change in your life? It doesn't need to be anything big, just...
Oh man, what do I never want to change? That is, I never think of, now I'm thinking too big.
No, you can say whatever you want. Anything you want. It can be big if you want.
What don't I want to change? Oh my God, I'm blanking right now. But what don't I want to change? I'm trying to think of something small. Stupid.
It can be anything. Lauren Huggins, she said McDonald's.
Yeah.
Because that's like consistent and it's like reminds her of home. Katie Green talked to me about how the relationship with her sister, she never wanted that to change, the closeness that she has with her sister.
Yeah. I think, what do I never want to change?
Your underwear. You never want to change your underwear.
Oh, yeah. Or, same clothes, like I never want to, I don't know, change the fact. I never want to change the fact that I have flight benefits. Just I just want to always be on somebody's
flight benefit.
I always want to have friends. Yeah, somebody who has a benefit and
Somebody's going to hook up with an airline.
Yeah, hook up with an airline would be.
But that's your ex has the hookup. So soon if she's going to be with someone new, and they're going to be like, I don't think so.
And then I'm hanging out at Air Canada or like
I have the flight benefits too. My brother-in-law works for an airline, so I get flight benefits. So that's why I'm able to go home and visit. I'm very, very lucky. He lets me, and he also listens to the podcast. Shout out, Dustin. We love you. you.
So that helps too. Like if I had to pay like full
majorly.
price airfare.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay.
Yeah, and just being able to, when you don't live, like neither of us live, you haven't lived in the city with your family. Your family's all in Calgary.
Yeah.
You were in Hamilton. You were in Toronto.
Yeah.
You haven't lived in the same city as your family for how many years?
Like 10.
Yeah,
plus.
mine's like, mine's, I don't even know fucking how long now, but like, yeah. And so many years, and it helps you go back, but it also helps you have opportunities to travel and do all this stuff as well. So
those benefits,
flight benefits, hope it doesn't change. You're gonna have to start fucking flight attendant.
Yeah.
But you can talk to them. You know, the trick is on flights, apparently, just to bring gifts for the flight crew.
Oh, okay.
Bring them like wrap stuff. So either like Starbucks gift cards or chocolates or stuff that's like wrapped up and sealed.
Oh, okay.
And you'll often get upgrades or free things. And I saw this on TikTok and I was like, no way, does this fucking work? And then I talked to my brother-in-law and he's like, no, it actually fucking works. He's like, if I can pull someone up and upgrade them, I will. I'll always go, oh, what seat are you in? And then I will remember them. Or if I can't, I'll give them free booze, free food,
after
snacks.
they give
Oh
yeah, on the way here, the flight attendant, she gave me like all the bottles of wine because I was nice. She's like, you're nice.
Being nice gets you far, man.
Like, and I was like, I'm good on a drink. She just like gave me another bottle. She's like,
I think I need to be nicer. I'm too cunty in public. And like sometimes when I'm walking in London, I'm like, and we move. Or when you're running to get on a train before the door's shut.
Yeah.
And like I will push people in. I'm like, what makes you think there's no one else running? We're all running and you get in and you stand there. I'm like, yep, you keep going, bro. And I'm like, I'm such a bitch. I'm like, if I ever get famous, oh my God, I'm gonna be canceled fucking fast.
But like, what if you could like have the benefits of like being a rich person? But like, you know how rich people get so rich and then they don't have to pay for something?
Yeah.
But what if you could be like not rich but also get those?
I mean,
by like, what if
I would rather be rich, but
absolutely. But what if I could walk into any like restaurant and they're like, oh, you're that guy, here's free food. If I got free food, cheap flights, find out.
That'd be amazing.
Like, all right,
living the dream.
Yeah, there we go.
So is that what you hope never changes? That you always stay poor and need to rely on somebody else's flight benefits?
Yeah, and I find people that are willing to support. That's exactly what I.
You would never want to not be poor.
Never want to be.
You always want to be in debt.
I always want to just have so much potential, but be poor. Like people see the potential. Like, I want to help this guy. Because he's got all the potential, but he's
the nicest poor person I've ever met.
Yeah.
No, you're going to do great things. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You're the best. Michael Moses, I will link all your socials and all your stuff every day, same time.
Yes.
We're going to link all that as well because I love it. And you got to run off now because you're going to go to the bagel shop on Brick Lane and try to get them to get you as a regular, even though those girls don't fucking play.
They don't fuck around.
Do you think they're going to know you? Let's call it now.
Day 4? I'm gonna get them.
You're gonna get them. Okay. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for listening. Bye.